So, for this discussion, I will be talking about three main subjects. The first one being overall development, second one being mental health, and the third one being sense of fulfillment. So, the first one being overall development, I had a basis of what it meant to go from all the way down from infancy to late adulthood. But this class has kind of shown me that there are many more steps, and there are little steps in between each big step or phase of life. Um, and I think it's kind of key to have that understanding because I personally look at um, my younger brothers and sisters and seeing them grow up and seeing them develop over time is kind of interesting, and I'm kind of interested to see how my little niece does when she gets here. Um, see how she grows up and how uh, she turns out when she gets older. So I think it's interesting just learning overall development as far as a career. I can use this in most any psychology career. I plan on going to either a field of counseling or a field of forensic psychology, and so learning where people kind of come from as they develop is definitely helpful. Another part that something else I learned this year or this semester more on was mental health. I knew that mental health was obviously a big portion of one's life, and it's always key to um, not necessarily keep a smile on every time, but it's definitely important to make yourself happy. Um, and if you're not doing something you're not happy with, don't be doing it. So with that knowledge, obviously I can use that to help others that are struggling to be happy or struggling with fulfillment overall in their day to day lives. And thirdly, is a sense of fulfillment. Um, I personally couldn't relate to this just because of my age. I think is kind of the biggest thing that hinders me. But uh, understanding where older adults are coming from and how some of them, many of them actually, will often regret or lament on their life and wish that they had done things differently. Um, I think that's also kind of a key aspect for also in overall development to know, um, again, whether I'm going through counseling or forensic psychology. I think it's a useful tool when talking to patients. Now to talk about diversity. Diversity is a key part of psychology, I believe. Whether you are going into most any field, you will either be researching or you will be sitting down with patients and talking to them and basically getting to know their story. Um, Diversity is key to understanding who we are as people and who we are as individuals and how we interact with ourselves to create a society in which you know is relatively well built. Um, so it's a very important aspect of psychology that needs to be understood and needs to be learned for future references.